in this section, we want to talk about the 3 stages of the life cycle of a third-party risk management cycle. Now, when we talk about a third-party risk management life cycle, we have the onboarding, we have the ongoing, and we have offboarding. Now, when we talk about onboarding, what is onboarding? Onboarding has to do with planning and doing risk assessments. Onboarding has to do with doing what we call due diligence, contracting. Ongoing has to do with reassessments, monitoring and performance, renewals, and due diligence. Then now the offboarding activities has to do with termination of the contract, exit plan execution, and TPRM closure. Now we are going to go into all these as we go ahead throughout this class, but to give you a little brief about it, the onboarding stage is where we have a vendor that we want to be able to work with. Now we need to be able to find out and see whether this vendor that we are talking about, their security posture is secure for us to be able to work with them. And so that is where we go about doing the planning and the risk assessment. Now the due diligence is where we are sending them the questionnaire, where we are going over the things that they are supposed to answering the questionnaires, asking them about the controls that they have in their environment. Then the contracting has to do with, we have agreed to bring them on board. Now we need to get into the legal aspect of it. Then now we have reassessment. Reassessment is where we have had them for like a year. And so every year we want to be able to reassess the vendor and make sure the vendor is in good standing before we go ahead with the contract, or we go ahead and maintain the contract. Now, and this comes in different level. When the vendor is a low risk vendor, yes, you can have him for 2 years before or 3 years before you do a risk assessment. Then when it's a high risk vendor, you want to make sure that there is continuous risk assessment that is being done. Then we have monitoring and performance. We want to make sure that we are finding out, are their controls working effectively? Is there any hindrance, or is there anything that they are not doing well? How is the contract going? Or is there anything that we need to be aware of? Have there been any breach in the organization? Then we have renewal. That is when the time is up every 2 years or every 3 years where the contract is ending. We need to be able to do renewals. Then we have a due diligence, once again, same like within the onboarding, doing that again. Then before we head into the offboarding. The offboarding has to do with, we are terminating them from the contract that we have, the exit plan execution, how are we going to exit from the environment. We don't just say that, hey, I'm not working with you, so that's it. Because why? We have shared our data with them. So we need to know what kind of data did we share with them. How do we make sure that they are deleting those data? Are they going by what is stated when we're starting the contract? And we are going into all those things to be able to have a better understanding of their exit plan execution or the strategy that they are using. Then now we come to the TPRM closure, where the TPRM team will say, okay, all these things have been done. The contract have been terminated. We have seen the exit plan strategy. We have taken all the data that we need. We have cut or we have ended their services, and therefore they don't have access to our environment anymore. And so we don't have to go ahead and close it. And that is all that we need to be able to know about the third-party risk management lifecycle, onboarding, ongoing, and offboarding. Don't forget, catch you in the next class.